In this episode, we're going to be talking about heating the Jeep and the batteries for the Jeep. The reason we need to heat the batteries is because batteries don't like to be charged and discharged while cold, and especially in a cold place in Canada, we need to make sure that we can heat up these fast. So instead of having an electric heater, we're going to have to modify the heater that already comes in the Jeep and use a diesel heater that we bought. This is the heating coil. This is what takes the excess heat from the engine and turns it into heat for the cabin. The way it works is it just blows normal air from outside or from the inside the cabin, depending what setting you choose, and it blows air through it, and then the heat from the radiator fluid goes into the air, and then it blows warm air out the other side. Originally, the heating coil would sit right here and goes out those two little holes, right? And then connect to the engine. But we need to change it so that instead of going through the heating coil, the air goes out this vent and then back in this vent. And it will go through the diesel heater that we bought. We just cut a divider right here so the air would be forced to go through the heater. But then we're going to help it guide better by putting some foam in. But first, we're going to have to wash it. Now that we are done cleaning, we are going to screw in the divider and put in some foam to control where the air goes. So this foam expands a lot. So when adjusting the vent, we need to add these cardboard things so when it expands, it doesn't over-expand and goes in the place that we don't want to go. We're going to squirt the foam underneath there in that void there, either up over here into the heater or down for just normal room temperature air, and then either to the dash or the cabin. And now I just need to make sure that that is in the right spot and it can still move. So in order to use these holes we drilled for the heater, we need to modify the battery tray. Batteries back in the day when the Jeep was made were a lot bigger, so the battery, we're going to cut right here and the battery will still be able to fit. So that's what we need to do in order to allow clearance so that we can put the heater here. We just modified the battery holder so it can hold the smaller battery and have the heater right beside it. So we just cut it and then we welded on that angle iron, and now we are just going to paint it. Here's the new battery box that we just modified so it can fit the heaters right here. Here's the new battery in place. This is the finished print. I'll show you what it does in a minute. The file for it will be in the description if you wanted it for some reason. Yeah. So this is the heating system so far. We have this 3D printed piece that will be sticking out through those two holes over there, sticking out of them. Underneath, this is what we got for helping guide the air. So it'll come out the blower, go up this little ramp, through the hole into the heater, then back out, and then into the Jeep. And somewhere along the line there, we're going to add a separate valve so that it can go to the heat can go to the batteries. So this is where we put the heating box. It goes right there with everything that's already inside of it. And then over here and over here, this is where the vents come out. And in the next video, we are going to be talking about how we attach the heater to those vents.